Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a quick recipe using the Zoodles, or basically what it is I had gotten these frozen zucchini squash nest, they were called, at Sam's Club, and so I had the idea to put this dish together. I did purchase this Bertolli pre-made Alfredo sauce. Generally I'd make my own at home, but this only had 2 net carbs per serving, and there were 7 servings in the whole thing, so I didn't think that was too bad. And I do have shaved blend Parmesan cheese that I had gotten at Sam's, as well as this andouille sausage to add a little bit of spice to the dish. I have some real bacon pieces that I threw in there, as well as a little heavy whipping cream. Here I am just slicing up the andouille into bite-sized pieces because that works really well for the pasta dish, or the Zoodles dish, and I ended up using about 4 links of the sausage all together. Okay, so I got a big pan on the stove. Into that I am going to add some bacon grease. I do like to save my grease from my bacon when I make it, and so I'm going to put this into the pan. Usually I would let it melt a little bit and then add to it whatever I'm going to add, but this day I just kind of threw it in the pan, and then after that I did go ahead and add my sausage to the pan as well. And I'm going to go ahead and just cook this up in the pan. It's already cooked, so I'm just heating it thoroughly and letting it get a little bit brown on either side, just to crisp up a little bit for the dish. And what I didn't show you on here is that once the sausage crisped up, I went ahead and added a big palmful of the crumbled bacon, and then to my pan I am going to add my jar of Alfredo sauce. Sometimes it's hard to get all the Alfredo out, so to it I added just a tiny bit of water, shook it around in the jar, and added the rest of the Alfredo sauce into the pan as well. So we're just gonna let this heat through with the Alfredo sauce, and right now would be a good time to go ahead and add your seasonings to the dish as well. To mine, I am going to add some of my pink Himalayan salt, as well as some cracked black pepper, and I also did go ahead and add to my dish some garlic powder. Now, if you had some minced garlic on hand, or if you had some fresh garlic, that would be really, really good as well. But today, I just added some of the powdered garlic. So I went ahead and got that into my pan and got that all mixed up really good together. And also, if you've seen there, I did add a tiny bit of heavy whipping cream, maybe like a tablespoon, as well as that shaved Parmesan. And look at my doggy. He is always by my side when I'm cooking. He's always by my side in general, but when I'm cooking, you can believe he's going to be there. So I did add, like I said, to that my Parmesan shaved cheese and a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Not a lot, because once you add your Zoodles to the main sauce, it is going to become a little bit more liquidy from the water that they retain, so you don't want to add a whole lot of liquids to this. So at this point I did go ahead and switch pans. I took my sauce and moved it to the side. I added my zucchini and yellow squash spirals into my pan on medium heat, and we will go ahead and put a lid on top of this and let those get started. I don't know how many minutes I let it cook for, maybe 2-3 minutes. You don't want to let it cook for very long at all, because these can turn soggy on you really fast. So I'm just checking on my Zoodles on occasion. I did take my lid off and stir them several times, and as you can see in the pan, see how liquidy they get? So they do really produce a lot of liquid. So once they did finally get done, I just picked up the Zoodles with some tongs and let the liquid drain a little bit, and then I just started to add it on top of my sauce. Again, they do retain some water, so if you want to squeeze out some of the water, you're certainly fine to do that, but I did just let my water drain out of the Zoodles quite a bit, and then I added it into my dish. And then a little bit later, once I got all the Zoodles done, I had to end up making some more because there was way too much sauce. But once I got it all done, I added it all together, And then I went ahead and I added a little bit more of my Parmesan shaved cheese blend to the dish, just to make it like a little bit more thickened. You know, the sauce was thickened enough here anyway because I had let it sit for a little bit, so it wasn't like piping hot, but it just turns out really, really good. So here I was to the end of it, and I added a little bit more zoodles because, like I said, I had way too much sauce for the amount of zoodles I had made. So here is a bit of a closer look as to what the dish is looking like once I got toward the end of it. Like I said, I did add a little bit more of the Parmesan cheese blend on the top just to give it a little added creaminess and made it just a little bit thicker in the end. There is the zucchini in there and the yellow squash in there, and it just turned out so good. And then here I am just plating a little bit of this up. And again, you can add a little bit more Parmesan cheese. You could add a little bit of the bacon crumbles to it on the top of it when you're done, just whatever you want to do. Feel free to dress it up however you want. The fun thing about this is that, you know, there's no specific recipe. It's just kind of, you're doing your own thing and you're adding those kind of things that you like. This was a little bit spicy from that andouille sausage. It was so good. It reminds me of this pasta dish that we used to make called New Orleans pasta. And this turned out so good. I highly recommend making it if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.